Welcome to the Cozy Cushion. Can you believe it's already week 3 for the 30-day video challenge that I presented to myself? It went so quick, so quick. So week 3, we are going to talk about mindful living and real talk. So I'm Natasha, your intuitive guide and spiritual coach. And this week we are diving into what really matters: to slow down, tune in, and live with intention. We'll talk about the power of presence, how to cut through the noise, and being real with yourself is the most spiritual thing that you can do. So grab your tea, coffee, water, or preferred drink of choice, take a breath, and let's get into it. No fluff, just truth and tools that you can actually use. Today we're going to talk about recovery, healing from within. So one of the things that I've done today is brought my second guest, guinea pig. This is Magic. This is Chester's brother. So he's different colored. He's red and a little bit of white and black, and he too is a very, very good boy. So he's just going to hang out during the video and hopefully enjoy the time here with us. And he's part of the conversation in a way today. So one of the first things that we can do in recovery, whatever that might be from, recovery from an illness or addiction of any type, just even an emotional recovery, honestly, after a big argument or something, you want to create safe space daily. So for me, my soft light candles, my animals, in this case Magic, is creating a safe place for me to do this video with you guys and for you guys. Prioritize quiet time or a healing ritual like journaling, breath work, or sitting with nature or animals. They're always there to give us a smile. To allow your nervous system to reset and feel safe. So sometimes I will put a towel or blanket under Magic and just kind of hold him in my arms and give him a little snuggle. And that can bring my heart right down or make me feel calmer. And it just focuses our attention on something other than what our attention was on moments prior to us going to our safe space. The second thing we can do is to feel our feelings without judgment. Let yourself cry, rest. I can't speak into how important rest is enough. Rest is so vitally important for us, and so many of us don't rest well at all. We're not good resters. It's something that we can cultivate and change, and I can help you with that. Another thing is when you're feeling your feelings, grieve and take time to grieve. Whether it's a loss of a friendship or a loved one or an animal or even a change in a relationship can be sometimes really difficult for us. And grieve or release. Sometimes it takes time to process emotions, and we want to release them because we don't want to carry them too long. That's why it's so important that when something happens in our lives, we take time to sit back and do nothing for a little bit and give ourselves an opportunity to process feelings, emotions, opinions, and judgments. And before we do anything, it can be a game changer in the stress of it all, for one. And another thing is, at the end of the day, it's going to have way better results every single time. The next thing is to set tiny boundaries. Start small. Say no when you mean no. So when somebody makes an offer, whether it's to even give something away, I thought of you, I have this cool guinea pig carrier, would you like to take it home? And I don't need one because I have one. I wouldn't take it anyway just because they're being thoughtful, because that could add to the clutter in my basement and cause me stress later on when I don't actually need it. And that's just an example. So when you want to say no, be brave enough to say it. Protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. This rebuilds trust in yourself, especially over time. And sometimes not trusting ourselves gives us our biggest spiritual problems, and we don't want those. The next thing we're going to talk about is resilience. Rising through the hard stuff, because that's really one of the major reasons I wanted to create the Cozy Cushion, was to give people the space to be in the presence of somebody that cares and hold space for the hard stuff. The big part, it's the main reason for the Cozy Cushion. So the first thing that's good to do with resilience is to reframe the challenge. Instead of wondering, why me? Why is this happening to me? Try a different question. Like, what is this trying to teach me? Shift from a victim mode, why is this happening to me, to a student or learning mode. Life is always happening for me, so what is this here to teach me? It's a different vibration, and it lands differently in our body, and it will make us being able to reframe and flip situations. Things can happen better, quicker, and way more positive at the end of the day if we give ourselves an opportunity to do this simple exercise. The second thing is to anchor into a daily spiritual practice or strength practice, whether it's movement, prayer, or affirmations. So for me, movement is huge. I've recently joined an exercise program for that reason. That's a combination of breath work, moving the breath in and out of the body. We do a lot of breath work here on the Cozy Cushion, is moving all of our body systems and bringing that oxygen deep into our tissues and cells, and benefits us. And movement and walking around keeps our bodies strong, functioning properly, and is very healing for us. Affirmations are great reminders of how beautiful we are, how wonderful life can be. And even when things are not perfect, having a daily strength practice of how you're going to practice your strength every single day, like I'm practicing my strength and being a wonderful mentor and spiritual coach here at the Cozy Cushion. I'm practicing that because I want to build on it, and it brings me happiness and joy, which is the last thing, is to pick one thing that reminds you that you are stronger than you think. So when I started this channel in 2011, I didn't know what direction to go in, and I didn't necessarily know my own strengths. So it's taken me a while to build those, but now I use those daily practices all the time so that I don't feel anxious, I don't feel overwhelmed, I don't worry as much, and most importantly, I self-love. Not self-medicate like I used to. I self-love. Next thing is to celebrate every win, even the tiny ones. It could be anything. Resilience grows when you acknowledge your progress. Keep a journal or a scorecard in your head of all the things you didn't think you could do but did. all the things that you thought were going to break you completely, track your bounce back moments. Here at the Cozy Cushion, we love rebounds and we love bounce backs. We like it when we hear stories of resilience, and that's cultivated within each and every person, and you have what it takes to be a resilient, self-reliant human being. So the next stage that we're going to go through today before we end this video is gentle growth and evolving without force. So many of us row upstream. We get in our canoe, we find a direction, we think we want to go over here to this mountain, it's upstream, and we start paddling and pushing. And life doesn't always give us what we want when we push for it. I've noticed that life gives us what we want when we're ready for it. So a big part of life is getting ready for the next best thing, being open and ready to receive. So one of the things that you can do to put yourself in good alignment is to go at your soul's pace. So if you're not ready for something, take your time. Make sure that you're prepared in your own way. Don't let a list of details that somebody's given you or steps maybe that other people have taken in your progress. Growth doesn't have to be fast to be real. So if you are abusing a substance, you don't have to just give it up cold turkey. You can cut back slowly. We'll just use a liquid for an example. Maybe you drink this much liquid and you want to drink less. So the next day you drink this much. And the next day you drink this much. And the next day you drink this much. That's real. That's resilience. That's recovery. And that's gentle growth. Check in with your energy before saying yes and let alignment guide you. So if you're having a bad day and your central nervous system is on fire and you're anxious and you're upset and you go to reach for your beverage and you know that you've already had 2 of those large, beverages today, and your head says kind of, yeah, you probably don't need that. You can change your mind and say no or minimize as much as you can. And that's a tool that we can exercise and build up like a muscle or the old-fashioned water pump. The more you pump these spiritual muscles, the stronger that you get mentally, physically, and spiritually, because they all work together. The next thing is to practice self-compassion out loud. This feels really bad, really weird for so many people, and it shouldn't. When I worked at Curves for Women, I did a lot of training. And one of the trainings that we were encouraged to do was role play. And at first it felt very odd. And eventually, as I practiced role play, I seen how essential it was to be a teaching tool, to bring your presence to the space and to your own reality. So speak to yourself kindly, daily. Try words like, I'm doing my best. I am doing my best. I'm just here doing my best. And that's enough for today. That's enough for today. And let it be okay. You need to be gentle with yourself. And you need to speak to yourself kindly. You don't want to go off on a tangent inside your head of all your childhood wounds and negative comments that you've heard along the way. Beat yourself up while you're already beaten up and feeling weak. When you're feeling weak, friends, talk to yourself like you wish somebody would. You're doing great. I am so glad you're here. I love it when you visit with me. I appreciate you showing up. Girl, I'm going to give you the biggest hug, and I'm not going to let you go. Talk to yourself. Positive. It's a different vibration that goes through our body, and it helps us deal with stress better. When we beat up on ourselves, it heightens our stress, and it wreaks havoc on our central nervous system. And it's just not good. So just please don't do it anymore. Don't talk negative to yourself at all. The last thing is follow what feels light. And that's why I really wanted to illuminate my staircase here with my magic in the middle, is feel what's light to you. If something feels expansive, fun, or freeing, it's probably in the right direction. Let joy lead your growth, not pressure. So friends, if you're even at a family function, let's say you've been on a diet for a year and you've reached your weight loss goal and it feels so good and everybody's noticing, and you go to a family function and you're not feeling that hungry for whatever reason it may be, and it's a potluck, everybody's brought their favorites. If people are encouraging you to eat, this, that, and the other thing, and, they're even saying some things like, oh, just one of these rolls isn't going to hurt your weight loss goal, or if you think it is, then you're really watching this diet too closely. People can be very heavy in the shares and opinions that they have and the judgments that they may have. So be in control of your own thoughts, and if it feels light to say no thanks, enjoy a few refreshments. You do see your favorite cookie there in the corner, and you're definitely having that before you go. Do what feels light to you and your soul. And let joy lead your growth, not the opinions of others. Because when we're doing our own thing, it's funny how people really still hold a very hard opinion about how we should sometimes be living our lives. And that can make life feel heavy, and we don't need that. The goal of this week is, the next 7 days, is to make everything lighter and brighter. So before I go, I'm just going to give Magic a little bit of snuggles here. Oh, my so a good boy. Oh, my so a good boy. He is such a good pig. This is Magic. He's such a good boy. I don't know what he's chewing on. What are you chewing on? You're just chewing on your teeth? They're such, both my guinea pigs are such good boys, and they absolutely love, love, love to snuggle. They do, and they love healthy snacks. Magic really loves lettuce and cucumber and apples and clover. So now that it's spring, I get to cut them fresh grass, and I'll be doing that later once we're done this video. So he'll be super excited about that, and I'm surprised Chester didn't start squeaking just because I mentioned it. So thank you, thank you, thank you for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. If this spoke to your heart, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's so much more real talk and soul support coming your way. Remember, healing doesn't have to be hard, and growth doesn't have to be loud. You're doing better than you think. I'm Natasha, and I'll be right here when you're ready for more. Until then, Magic and I will see you next time. Take care, friends. You are loved by me. Talk to you soon.